functions in this shader. There's a vertex, geometry, and fragment. Really, the geometry shader is where the billboard magic happens. They're very simple structures for the moment. They're really just dealing with a position. Yeah, and the vertex shader doesn't do any transformations or anything like. If you're used to using other shaders, you might be used to doing an object to clip transformation in the vertex shader. In this one, we're going to do that in the geometry shader. Okay, so we take in our radius, and then yeah, we just have our geometry shader. Again, if you want to watch how this is all put together, you can watch the 30-minute video. What we're essentially doing is we're using this utility function to find out where those points in space are, and then we're appending them to the vertex stream. Okay, that utility function, I'll quickly show you what that looks like. First of all, we find out what the right and the up directions are. And then for each of them, we find out where in 3D space that is. So it's weird. It's where in 3D space is the camera's right and the camera's up direction. And then once we have those three-dimensional positions, then we convert that into the clip position, like this standard Unity object to clip position. If you worked with shaders before, you'll be very used to that function. and then of course we do that for each of our vertices. So the bottom right, what is it? No, to the right and up, and yeah, negative right, positive up, right and up. Yeah, anyway, you get it. And then all we're doing in this, once we have those 4 positions in the fragment shader, we're just working out how far away is it from the center of the quad, and we're gonna apply opacity, apply alpha to it accordingly. So if it's in the very center, it will be completely opaque, and if it's in the very edge, it'll be completely transparent. We're just going to make sure we clamp it so we don't get any issues of, because it'd be -1 on one side. I'll quickly show. I find this stuff, like the math, I really do enjoy. I'll quickly show you what this does. Okay, so if you got a square, right? You got the middle would be 0. This would be 1. That would be -1. This would be 1. That would be -1, right? If we're calculating a distance, then the distance of 1 would be like there, and I think that the distance here would be about 1.4 or something like that, which would make things a bit weird if we're doing some sort of lerping and stuff like that. So what we want to do is we want to clamp it at 1. So at the very most, it's going to be drawn on these edges here. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much what the shader does. I'll then show you how to implement it, which I've already done. So all I've done really in this bit, I've created a folder called materials. Let's see, a folder called materials. You can't see that at all. Hold on a second. All right, we've got our. Oh, what did I do? I just dragged the scenes folder into the materials folder. Put that back. Okay, so now we've got our assets folder, and then we've got our materials folder. In there, we've created a material called a star material. The material the shader that we've created is in star chart/star, and then we've got our radius that we can mess with to define how big they are. And now we're rendering our stars, and that's the core of it.